This is Bismarck. My research is on bipolar disorder, and the hypothesis is like childhood sexual abuse and suicide ideation among bipolar patients, and existential but not religious well-being serve as a protective factor. And what am I saying, or what the research says? The research was done in Atlanta at Emory University. That's where the researchers came from. The funds was given to them by the university, and it was done in the Atlanta suburb with in low income communities. So the sample size for this research was it was about 112 people, and over 75%, 73% of them identify as African Americans, and then the rest was second highest majority was Caucasian, and the rest was different minority. And what they had in common were they were all from low income communities, and they all were patients who suffer from bipolar disorder. Um, they all suffer from bipolar disorder. How was the research done? The method was used is they used the mood questionnaire. So the mood questionnaire was consisted of a yes and no question, yes and no answer. And some of the questions was how important is God in your life? How important is God in your life? Or God is so important in my life, I cannot live without Him. And then the other question would be like, I believe that I'm going to be great in this world. I believe that I'm going to have my family love me. I believe I'm going to go this place. So the factor of that, they were testing to see if the first one was most of the patients who have experienced childhood sexual abuse were more likely to either have suicide ideation, commit suicide, at a certain point in their life. So that was the hypothesis. And they did a measurement where they asked these people this question, and it was based on self-reporting. So it was done in this factor. For this study, I would use the word EWB, which is for existential well-being, and the other one would be RWB, which is for religious well-being. What the study found out that because it was some hypotheses they had that most people who suffer from bipolar are more, and who have also experienced childhood sexual trauma or abuse, are most likely to commit suicide or have this sexual ideation. And the mood disorder questionnaire, when they did that, it came out like almost 100%, about 85% of the people that were part of the studies, and it was aged between 19 to 65. So they came out that most of them have experienced that, and most of them, or most of the people they know that have also committed suicide, suicide. And then the other hypothesis in this study that they were trying to find out, to come up with, was how important, because historically other research have said that religious well-being, people who believe in God, are more likely to not commit suicide. How important religion is in other religion, how important religion play in as a protective factor. And after the study, they realized that existential well-being is almost like being more positive and taking hope for about life, and other factors from outside, how it's important. And so the conclusion in the study, they found out that religious well-being is served as not as much as a protective factor as existential well-being. I look forward to some of your questions. There are more details on the research, but I don't have the time right now. I look forward to your questions.